Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. You look very familiar to me.
You look familiar to me too.
What time is it where you're at?
It is just after 11 a.m.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not quite that late in the day where I'm at. As you can tell, there's no sunlight. Um, I think I know who you are. I think I know where you are, but I'm just going to ask you a quick question.
Hmm?
Can you tell me in your native language the word for diapers?
Bippies.
Bippies. Oh, okay. Well, you are clearly Helen Turner then. Thank you for doing this. Helen, you sent me three clues that we're going to run through real quick to quiz folks on where you might be. So hopefully you can see the screen there, and we'll go through these clues one by one. Now you sent them to me, so I'll go ahead and read them. So
Okay.
these are your clues. All right. So number one, a soft, rich heap of many-colored disarray, which I believe is a line from Gatsby.
Indeed.
Surprisingly, he didn't cause a row. Okay, very unusual for Fitzgerald. Didn't get in
Yeah.
trouble there. And three, still it galls that he found this place so unworthy. All right, so I've studied these clues all night, and I'm absolutely baffled about where you might be. So maybe you can just go ahead and tell us where you are.
Right. Well, I'm stood outside Davis and Sons in on Savile Row in West London, and this is the tailor that Fitzgerald visited in 1921. In fact, 100 years ago, precisely on the 24th of this month. So we've just missed his 100th anniversary of his visit here.
And that was the only time they were in England, right?
Yeah, but it seems to be that he was here. He obviously got fitted at the tailors. They went to Europe. They came back, and he's had another, obviously, fitting or whatever here. So there seems to have been a gap in between, and he stayed at Claridge's and the Cecil either side of that trip, then to Europe.
Great.
But we're going to go in now. All right, Graham has kindly got the book out, which he had to sign in. Everybody had to be recommended, so you couldn't just walk in. Now, Graham assures me you can just walk in and get that suit made. But back then, you needed a recommendation. So we're going to go in, and Graham will show us a little bit more.
Awesome.
Great. Okay. Right. So I will flip my screen now.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So here we are. Davis and Son. There's.
Oh, I like that jacket there.
There we go. We've got sort of almost a pink one there. Look.
Yeah, there you go.
And they're in the. Actually, I'll wait till I go in. Hi there, Graham. We've got actually here Edward VIII, the king that abdicated. That's his suit that was made here. When was that? In 1961. So that's the jacket that was made here. So,
okay.
So I'm going to go over to Graham now. Hello, Graham. You're beaming to Alabama, of all places, where our executive director is zooming through to me. So we'd love to have a look at this book you have here.
This is the address book that every customer had to fill in when they came in, where they were staying, if they were at a hotel, and who recommended them. So every customer had to have a recommendation at that point. They couldn't just come in despite whoever they were. They had to have a recommendation.
Wow, so that's amazing. I'm not sure anybody's ever really hunted that down or seen that before.
Yeah, it was an off chance that I contacted you, and then you came back. Yeah. I was amazed, quite frankly.
But I mean, over the years, funny enough, he's probably been more sought than most of our customers.
Oh, really?
I have had a couple of other people who've been either writing a book about him or doing research on him. So whether they're members of your society or not, I don't know. But certainly in the last 4 or 5 years, I've had a couple of other inquiries.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Interesting.
great.
So he was recommended by, it looks like
CD Winash.
CD Winash. Have you heard of him, Kurt?
I have not heard of CD Winish. I have no idea. We'll have to do some research on that and figure out if we can know who that is.
Yeah, we'll have to. I suppose it could be somebody like Graham was saying that. I mean, do you think
It could have been one of our normal customers who met him and
just
he
said,
might have just been talking about having a suit made, and he's just said, "Well, go into Davis and Son and tell them I sent you,
And he
and
just
that
said-
would be fine."
Yeah.
So
difficult to say. Difficult to say.
I suppose if I went through every entry in the book, at some point I could probably go back and find out who CD Winash
was.
when he first came in and who recommended him, and then the story goes on forever.
So just out of curiosity, that's a huge book there. What years does that book cover?
This covers 1921 through to, I think, 1931.
Oh,
So this
wow.
is 10 basically.
Okay.
But then there's the next book that followed from 1931, and this one goes through to 19. Oh, sorry, this is the previous book. This one went up to 21, but we have got all the books going back to the 1800s.
That's amazing. Those are those are
10, yeah.
Mm.
So, and that went through to 1921. So this is the book before the one
okay.
where Fitzgerald came in.
Graham was saying they kept them up to, when did you say, the 70s?
1970s.
The 1970s, and that's when they stopped. So there must be, lots and lots of books down
other,
there.
Yeah, and lots of other people, more recent. David Lean, the
David Lean.
director.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but just old names like Vandervelde, and you see some of these names. Nobel, one of the Nobels, not Frederick, but I think one of his nephews. He came in. We found him, and he did things. Guggenheim, the museum in New York.
Wow.
He was a customer. So quite a lot, but a lot of Americans will be in there. And that majority of our businesses up and still up to today.
So basically, I think it's probably safe to say that Davis and Sons would have been Jay Gatsby's tailor too, that he would have been ordering his shirts that show up in that novel from your store as well.
Yeah, maybe the shirts could be, or they may have got his shirts made in German Street, because that's
the shirt street.
Okay.
Suits here, somewhere else. You could have got his shoes from another shoemaker in.
But I've just been hearing from Graham. I had no idea that these tailors, they, I'll just spin the camera around again so you can see me, that they specialise in, so you have a tailor that specialises in waistcoats.
Oh, okay.
The whole suit, they make, somebody makes the waistcoat, somebody makes the trousers, somebody makes the jacket. And then you have finishers. So the buttonholes and everything are done by somebody else. So I guess that's what you're paying for. It is.
This guy just walked in. He's a trouser maker.
Okay, so we've got a trouser maker there. But you can certainly tell with that suit in the window and the suit here that you certainly get what you pay for. I'm feeling very off the peg today.
I was just going to ask how many Americans wander in there in camo shorts and T-shirts and very quickly are escorted out.
I think generally people do come in respecting the tradition.
Yeah.
But not everyone. And we have a rack of jackets which we need to measure over.
Yeah.
So if someone just comes in a T-shirt, and we put a jacket on them and we'll measure them.
Oh, is that so? It kind of for the fitting purposes,
it
or
gives you anchor points to take the measurement
from.
So when you're drafting the paper pattern, you need to have certain anchor points. So if they've not got a jacket on, it makes life a lot more difficult. It's not as accurate.
Wow.
So you're not actually measuring the jacket, but you're taking measurements from certain seams on the jacket of their body.
Wow.
Great.
I've learned an awful lot this morning. I really have.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just neat to know that there are these little clues to his existence that are out there in the world. Not everything is locked up in a vault in Princeton or South Carolina. So it's very exciting that you discovered this, Helen.
Yeah. So here we are. Yeah, Savile Row.
And the original shop where he would have gone was on Hanover Street, literally just off Regent Street.
Mm-hmm.
So they were there. Davis was there from 1803 right through to the 70s.
Okay.
Burlington Street,
Which is just around the corner. Yeah.
And then we moved on to Savile Row
Mhm.
in the 90s.
So when did Savile Row become that? You know, I mean, I think most people, when they think of kind of English tailoring, they think Savile Row. When did it become the?
That would have been in the 1800s.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's.
But there were still lots of tailors in the area
Yeah.
that weren't actually on Savile Row
Row.
because it didn't suit them.
Yeah.
Or, you know, there's only a limited amount.
Mhm, of course, because it's not a particularly big road, is it? No.
And the decision in the 90s to come here and leave the shop in Old Burlington Street,
Mhm.
we were giving up a lot of space
Right.
to do that,
Mhm.
but felt it was more important to actually be on the road.
On the road.
Because a lot of people aim to have a Savile Row suit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's what I do with my Walmart suits is claim they're Savile Row.
Yeah, they aspire for a Savile Row suit. And
Yeah.
people just walk up in Savile Row. And
That's
they'll
it. And
actually
so
tailor on
Savile Row. Yeah.
Despite
Mm.
all the other tailors in the area will be just as good,
Mm.
but they're not actually on the row.
Yeah.
Graham was also saying that the largest part of their clientele actually is American.
Really?
So-
That's
and
interesting.
they travel to America how many times a year? I suppose in at the
We go
moment.
to New York 4 times a year.
Okay.
Chicago.
Mhm.
Then we go over to LA, San Francisco, Dallas, Washington,
Wow.
Boston,
Mhm.
Palm Beach.
Wow.
So-
All over.
So we go to every city at least twice, but New York and Chicago we go 4 times.
Wow.
And then might do Washington 4 times. It depends then how busy we are in certain cities. But the West Coast we only ever do twice a year.
Okay.
That's great. That's it.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Kirk, I'll get Graham to head down to Montgomery, Alabama.
There you go.
Get-
Please do. Yes.
There you go. Maybe we'll all throw in a few bucks, get you
I need-
kitted out.
Ask him if do you do seersucker, Graham? That would be my question.
We do seersucker. And have made seersucker bespoke clothes.
Ah, okay.
Say, why would I pay for a bespoke seersucker?
Exactly.
Right. Well, Graham, I'd like to thank you very much for your
No
time
problem,
this
thank
morning.
Yes,
been
thank
lovely.
you. This has
Oh.
been wonderful.
I'll just let you see Kirk, actually. There's Kirk.
Hi, Kurt.
Hello, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for doing this.
Must be early for you at the moment.
It's about 5:15, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's sun is just now coming up. So
Yeah, well, thank you for getting up so early to do it.
anything to be on Savile Row. It'll probably be the only time I'm ever there. So
Yeah, especially at the moment with lack of travelling. I mean, we've
Yes.
not been out of the States since, well, I was out in March and had to abort my trip and come back
Oh.
last year. And that's
Yeah.
the last bit there, unfortunately.
yeah.
So,
Well,
we'll-
hopefully it'll open up soon for you.
Yeah. We're fully vaccinated. We should be all right.
Should be all right. All right, then, Kirk, shall you wave you goodbye?
Yep, we are all set. Thank you very much. And Helen, I appreciate you doing this.
No problem. I've learned a lot. I've had a good morning. I've gone down New Bond Street looking at all the diamonds.
There you go.
You get a nice suit next time we're all over here.
I appreciate that very much.
All right, then. See you soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.